people on OnlyFans making $100,000, $200,000 a month. And that gives them the ability to buy not just one property, buy multiple properties. This morning there was an article about how people are being able to buy properties in 2024 with the housing crisis across Australia, right? And they were talking about people on OnlyFans making $100,000, $200,000 a month. And that gives them the ability to buy not just one property, buy multiple properties. That's sad to think that we have got a housing problem that someone that is on $30 or $40 or $50 an hour, like the video I shot this morning of the barista at the cafe, right? Working his ass off, right? And guess what the data shows? For a young person in their early 20s to save a deposit to buy a property in Sydney, it will take them to the age of 65 to get a deposit. If it's a unit, it's a little bit less. They'll probably do it by the age of 45. And then you've got the Australian government. You got, and I mean, listen, I want to let you know, I'm not Liberal, Labor, Greens. I'm a swinging voter, right? So this is not some political philosophy. But you've got a housing crisis where you've got people that are earning 150 grand a year that cannot rent out a property. They're putting an application from application. And yet you've got the government who is more worried about the Brittany Higgins case with Lerman. You got the government who is, more concerned with every other issue than issues that are affecting the majority of people, right? And I think people are getting fed up, right? And we talk about a housing crisis. I mean, in Victoria alone, like you think about, there are apparently, I wasn't aware of it, 17 taxes for a landlord. The rest of the states are a lot lower, right? So that's the old guy. You know who the guy I'm talking about, that was running that place in Victoria, right? So, man, I've just got to say to you, right, make the main thing the main thing. Start having a look at all these issues that need to be resolved. What are these issues? Make it easier to get approvals on property. Probably changing the zoning that allows you to have more multi-dwelling properties on various parcels of land. Drop the minimum size of parcels of land, because there is no point, saying we've got houses out in, far north Queensland or in the middle of Australia. Look where people are going. Look at the data of immigrants. You've got to get people into Sydney and Melbourne. That is where most people are going. You've got to solve the supply issue. By the way, I had a guy that came out with me. I had two people out with me today that are real estate agents that came along to look at auctions with a view of becoming auctioneers or learning some of the things that you say and don't say and do at an auction. And one of them said to me this morning, he goes, how many have you got? And I said, I'm scheduled to do 13. And he said, oh, wow. He goes, the normal auctioneer that we use does, 5 or 6, and tells me that he's tired at the end of it. So here's my view. I want to let you know, and I know this sounds weird. Saturday is an easy day for me compared to Monday, Friday. And I mean that sincerely. Monday to Friday is full complications, right? There is just stuff going left, right, and center. I mean, I run into a weekend on Saturday, probably have done 60 appointments on Monday to Friday. So when I hear auctioneers that do nothing during the week and auction on Saturday and run around with an assistant on a Saturday who's in the car with them, and they do 5 or 6 and then are tongue-tied at the end of the day, I only have one thing to say: still up. The other thing I was going to say to you is I've had a lot of comments about various articles that have been running in the last week. people, various media companies, News does, Daily Mail, pick up my stories on videos. And one particular about, real estate agents that spend more time trying to look good than actually work good, spending more time enhancing their image than their properties of the clients that they're serving, not promoting their properties. You can just see it. You look at certain properties and you look at the properties and you say to yourself, man, who's being promoted here, the real estate agent or the property? And then, of course, you got Mr. Renter agents all over Australia that go rent cars, to look good. Man, listen, I got nothing. I want to make it clear. I have nothing wrong with affluence. If you work hard and you make money and you want to enjoy it on things, 100%. It's these real estate agents who want to act a lot bigger than what their wage is. It's these real estate agents that have lost the basic principle of understanding. Make the superhero the client. That is the superhero, right? That is who is paying you, the vendor, right? And as for the agents, and there was one today, right? I mean, I listened to him have the conversation with the vendor prior to auction. It was something along the lines of this: I will probably VB it at around that, and then we'll have an opener at there, hopefully get it started there. And and I'm thinking, and I'm looking at the client. They can't understand these terms. Speak proper real estate consumer talk. Oh, we VB, we'll open it up here, position it here, get the momentum, right? You got to understand, these vendors sell houses once every 10 years. They don't talk that way. They need to be spoken in a way that they understand. Anyway, listen, I'm fired up, you can tell. I'm going to leave you at that. There's no question about it. This marketplace is not the way it was probably 8 weeks ago. I believe in certain parts, particularly in Sydney, there was a mini boom for 2 months. That's gone. And the consumer sentiment at the moment is all about, yes, we're listening to what the RBA is doing. They're not actually putting rates up, but they're telling us that they might be. And that's scary for us. And that's affecting the behavior of buyers. And vendors need to be aware of that. The buyers are not necessarily at the level they were before. Of course, markets are markets, and we have lots of different markets around the place, and they operate in their own way. And I'm giving you a very, very high level generic view of everything. But interest rates and the RBA is not just a market thing. It's right across all of Australia, all markets. Anyway, team, good to see you, Tony. Good to see you all. I am going to sign off. Share this video if you don't mind. I'd like to actually get the message out to as many people as possible if you actually see fit. Otherwise, team, I'm signing off.